Morgan is 12 years old. She ran away that we know of on 3 occasions. The first time she ran away, her parents didn't report her missing. The second occasion she ran away, her parents reported her missing to us, and we promptly found her and returned her home. And the third time she ran away, she was a real challenge to find. She said that she didn't want to be home. She was described by some as a quiet kid, didn't make a lot of noise. But here's the interesting thing. She presented herself on social media as being at least 18 to 22 years of age. She said that she worked at a center for girls who were having issues, girls that wanted to cut themselves. She had a fake British accent. Interestingly enough, this fake British accent was apparently pretty good, because one person she contacted on social media that she dealt with all day long said, she never once came out of character. I mean, that's my words. She never once hiccuped on her British accent. They said she looked like she was 22 years of age, and she told people that on social media that she was 22 years of age and had stepchildren. She was described as carrying herself as an adult, looked like an adult, spoke of her British accent. She had one phone that her parents knew about. She had another phone that she got so that she could keep herself hidden. She would turn her phone off and talk on this unknown phone to her parents and to authorities. Not only have our sheriff's detectives chased her a lot for the last few days, we also had NCMEC, Missing Persons Unit, helping us, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. We have had an entire team of people chasing this girl because even though chronologically she's 12, she was presenting a different image. And in addition to that, we knew that sooner or later she'd bump into the wrong person and she would be in real trouble because she was out in this world of social media. The media helped us. This gentleman saw his picture on television walking with our missing person through a store, and he immediately called us and go, "Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know she was 12 years old. I want to cooperate." And he did. Ultimately, we found her this morning in Osceola County. She was savvy. She was very difficult to catch. And quite frankly, we hope that we can get her the appropriate services, that she doesn't run again, because she'll even be harder to catch next time because of the lessons she's learned this time. But children run for a reason. Not that it's a good reason, but we've got to determine, why is she a runaway? Why does she continue to run away? And what do we need to do to break that pattern of activity? So we're working with the Department of Children and Families at this time. Certainly, there are ongoing investigations as to where she's been, who she's been with, and what conduct occurred while she was with them. Was she a victim of a crime? We don't know at this point in our investigation. But she's in custody, she's safe, and certainly we will return her to her parents or to the appropriate care and custody for her, and hope that she doesn't run again. There's a lot of questions that you may have that we can't answer right now, but the good news is she's safe and we found her. The challenges are how to keep her from running the next time. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to entertain those.
Where was she found?
We found her in Osceola County. At a house. She was staying at a house with some people there, and that's still under investigation. We surrounded the house, and I don't know if she was texting or talking on the phone saying, "The cops have got the house surrounded," and then she came out, and there was no conflict when we ultimately took her into protective custody. I do, but we're not going to release that at this time. But she was on very popular chat rooms, and quite frankly, once again, they're located outside of the United States, so it was an incredible, difficult task to get them to cooperate with us, which is not unusual. That's one of the things that frustrates me so much, is these folks want to do business in the United States. They want to offer a service that lures children to their site in the United States. Then they don't want to cooperate with us when we're trying to recover a 12-year-old child running. There needs to be federal legislation that somehow requires a more expedient delivery of service by these folks to law enforcement when we're dealing with an emergency. And regardless of how old she pretends to be or acts like, she's still 12 years old, and we consider her a police emergency when she's out running the streets and pretending to be somebody she's not on these chat rooms. Because as you know, when they're in that social media world, they're in a world that can devour them, that can cause them to end up dead alongside the road someplace. And it frustrates us to no end that it is a perpetual challenge to get information out of some of these organizations that run some of these social media outlets.
What message do you think parents should take away from this?
The message is, if your child's threatening to run, if there's issues at home, get help. And there's free help available, because children run for a reason. I'm not saying it's all good reasons, but sometimes children run because they're scared. Sometimes children run because they don't want appropriate discipline. Sometimes children run because they're in danger. But parents have to be the first line of defense. Parents have to watch out for and deal with their children. And if there's a problem, seek help. There's always an opportunity to receive help for your child.
Have you seen this kind of savvy before in someone?
Oh yeah. Yes, she is the latest one, but children run every day. We deal with missing children every day. She has been one of our greatest challenges in a long time. She's prolific, she learned quick, she's smart, and as a result, she could get herself in a whole lot of trouble because she is still 12 years old. But we're relieved that she's back. Our detective teams have literally been working around the clock to find her. We chase these children like they're our own children, and especially when they're this young, regardless of how old they look or how old they act or how street savvy they may appear to be, they're still kids.
Are there any pending charges for anyone?
We don't know if there are any pending charges for anyone, because we just got her back within the last 2 or 3 hours, and now we're starting to peel that onion back. So as we peel that onion back, we'll decide whether or not there are criminal charges to be pending for those that may have had communication with her. But keep in mind, she wasn't representing herself online as a 12-year-old child. She was representing herself as an adult with stepchildren, gainfully employed. So it's not like these men that were communicating with her online knew online that she was a child, because she was pretending to be anything but a child.
What sites was she on, or why was she communicating with them?
She was on separate sites, and we're not releasing what those are now because that's still under investigation, and we don't know where this investigation will lead now that we've got her in custody. But it was social media sites designed to communicate and meet and hook up.
How far from her home was she located?
Not far, I mean, relatively speaking. I think she lives up in the Davenport, Haines City, Poinciana area. She lives in the northeast quadrant. She was found over in Osceola County, not as the crow flies, not that far away. It's not like we discovered her in another part of the state or nation. But the frightening thing for us is how difficult she was to catch, how savvy she was, and the fact that she apparently, from the people we've talked to, did a darn good job with her British accent and her storyline. Yes, we know who that person is. In fact, he's been cooperating with us. We've identified 3 different people at this time that we know that she's been communicating with. All of them are cooperating with us.
And her family wasn't familiar with any of these people?
No, not that we know of.
Is she back at home?
She's not. She's still in protective custody. We will do forensic interviews with her. DCF will do an evaluation. Quite frankly, if we take her and push her in the front door of this house right now, as soon as the tail lights are out of the way, she'll probably be gone again. So we're trying to figure out, where do we place her? How do we deal with her so that she doesn't run again? Because she's got another lesson or 2 under her belt of how to avoid detection by law enforcement. And if she stays on that social media, it's just a matter of time until we find her dead someplace, because there are predators out there that would do that. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a good day.